What's up, team? Fullest, this is again Amy. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the check of my canal. So today we're going to do another cooking video. Today I feel like eating vegetable soup and boiled plantain. So this is what I'm going to cook today. So as you guys can see, I have all my ingredients. I have my plantain, I have my onions, my pepper, I have some dry fish. So now let's get started. I've already put the palm oil into the pan so that the palm oil can get warm a little bit. I don't allow the palm oil to be over warm because when it does, when you put the onions, the fire alarm will go off. So I try to let it warm a little bit and then I'll put the onions into it. I try to mix the onions with the palm oil so that everything can get coated, and then allow it to steam for a few minutes. So after you've allowed the onions to steam, I'm going to be putting the rest of the ingredient. Yes, I'm going to put my mixed pepper. You guys know I love this colorful pepper. It just make the food look so good looking and delicious. I don't know, I just love it. I'm gonna add my onions leaf, which I've also cut, and I'm just gonna add everything. And also I'm going to add the tomato. I'm going to try not to add the excess water that you guys can see. So I'm going to try to push the tomato on top because I'm not going to be adding any water into my vegetable soup. So because I don't want to overcook the spinach, I'm not going to add any water. So I'm just going to add the tomato and throw away the excess water. So now I'm just going to mix everything and allow everything to fry up a little bit, kind of steam up. Mix everything good and then allow everything to steam for a couple of minutes. So while you're allowing everything to steam, you can go ahead and try to prepare your plantain, or if you want to eat it with rice, you can go ahead and try to prepare your rice and other stuff. But I'm just going ahead and trying to prepare my plantain. So whilst the plantain is cooking, I'll come back and do the rest of the vegetable soup. So now that I have mixed everything, has steamed, I'm going to add the meat. I don't actually have meat. It's more like the cow stomach, you know, the small things. That's what I'm adding because I didn't put meat, because I actually wanted to eat it with dry fish. So I'm like, there's no need to put meat on it. But I thought, let me just add a little bit of the stomach of the, you guys can see, I don't know the names. And I'm going to add a little bit of pepper, and then I'm going to add my seasoning. I don't really like to use a lot of salt, if you guys have noticed in my cooking. And I always taste my food. Just that I'm not really a fan of salt. I don't really eat a lot of salt. So yeah, most time when I cook, when family members and friends comes around, they'll be like, the food is so delicious, but why don't you put salt? I do add seasoning, but I'm just not a fan of eating a lot of salt. So yeah. So I'm just gonna add my seasoning. I do also put salt in my food, but I just don't put a lot. I put just a little bit so I can taste it. I don't need to have a lot of salt in the food. I just don't like it. So I'm just gonna add my seasoning, and then after adding everything, I'm gonna allow the seasoning and the soup to cook together, allow everything to steam for a couple of minutes, and then first I'm adding 2 seasoning and a little bit of salt. And if later I needed to add more, I will add more. I don't like to add everything at once because then it becomes a little bit too much of salt and seasoning. So I like to add everything little by little, and if I needed anything, I will keep on adding. That is how I cook. So now I'm just gonna mix everything. After mixing everything, you're just gonna allow everything to steam. As you guys can see now, it doesn't have a lot of water because I've allowed the tomato, the paprika, the onions, everything to fry with the palm oil. So the palm oil is also gonna fry it and dry up the water, because the spinach of itself do have a lot of water. Spinach is 99% water, if not 100% water. So reasons why I don't like to add water when I'm cooking my spinach. So now that we have allowed that one to steam for a couple of minutes, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients. I'm going to add my dry fish and stuff like that. You guys have, I have a video on my channel showing you guys how I make my dry fish like this. Making this fish on my own have saved me a lot of money when it comes to cooking African dishes, because normally I will buy dry fish at the market, and you buy like 3 pieces of dry fish for like 7, 8, 10 euros, which you can't even use for a long time. But going to the market and buy this fish and come and dry it at home, at least it's much more cheaper for me, because not even more cheaper, it's fresh, it has a lot of, it's still fresh, it tastes good, and it's much better than buying at the market. So now I'm going to add another seasoning after adding the fish, and then just going to allow everything, and then I'm going to add the spinach. It's going to be the last ingredient that I'm going to be adding. After adding the spinach, there's nothing else more to add. It's just maybe the dry fish later, and allow everything to steam. So now I'm going to add the spinach. As you guys can see, this is a fresh spinach. I wash and cut it, and I'm just going to add, it looks like the spinach is too much when you add it into the pot, but as soon as you allow it to steam, and it's going to become water, because spinach is 90% or 100% water. So yeah, so now that you put the spinach into the pan, you're going to close the pan, put the gas at the lowest setting, and then allow it to steam. You're going to really allow this one to steam for a couple of minutes. So now that everything has steamed, as you guys can see, the spinach has a lot of water, so you guys can see the water that the spinach has created. But now you're just going to mix everything down and then allow it to steam for a little bit more. If you needed to add any more seasoning, any more salt, you can go ahead and add all of that. At this time, my plantain is already cooking. It's ready. I can't wait. This was something I actually had in the morning. I know some of you guys will be like, what? This is supposed to be dinner? No, I wake up early in the morning and I feel like eating this. At night, actually it was at night that I thought, you know what, tomorrow morning I feel like eating vegetable soup and plantain and boiled plantain. So I wake up the morning and I already have all the ingredients at home. So I just made a quick cooking video in the morning, and then I eat it with plantain, and then in the evening I eat something else, but the kids eat this one with rice because I already eat it, so I didn't want to eat it again. So yeah, so now I have added all the rest of the ingredient. Now you're just gonna mix everything properly, taste if you needed to add more seasoning or not. If not, you're just gonna allow it to steam for a couple of minutes again, and then your sauce is ready. But now let's allow it to steam. I'm gonna add more seasonings. Just like I said, if you taste it, you feel like the seasoning is not, you can't taste anything, then you can add, because sometimes when you make the soup and then you add the spinach, because spinach do have a lot of water, so sometimes that one will minimize the taste of the seasoning or the taste of the salts in the food. So that's the reason why I always like to keep like 2 seasonings aside. When I add my spinach, when I'm done with everything, then I will add the rest of the seasoning, because then the spinach is already cooking and everything will taste much more better. So now just mix everything and allow it to steam, okay? You're going to allow it to steam. You're going to taste it again if there's more seasoning there to be added. But for me, I think I don't need to add any more seasoning. But if you're somebody who you like to eat salt, you like to eat seasoning, you like to taste, then I would advise you to taste it and maybe add more. But for me, I'm done. I'm going to allow it to steam now. And after steaming for a while, I'm going to add my dry fish. Yes, this is the main part, I'm going to add my dry fish. And adding the dry fish, just going to allow it to steam. I'm going to drain the water off my plantain. Then I can come and sit down and eat my food. So guys, this is how you cook vegetable soup. It's a very, very easy food. It's a very, very easy. It's a way of eating African food if you don't have African food. If you don't have potato leaf or crane or cocoyam leaf, Spinach is also very, very simple. So yeah, this is it. This is my boiled plantain and vegetable soup. I hope you all like this video. If you guys do, please do not forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and Facebook like page. All the links will be down in the description box. Team Fullest, thank you guys so much for your love and support. I really appreciate you all. Vergeet niet te abonneren en hoop ik jullie zo snel mogelijk te zien. Peace out. Bye. Doei.